If you're homeschooling with a baby, you're probably wondering, how am I supposed to do school like this? Well, we're about a year in now, and I'm going to give you all the best tips and tricks that I know, and I promise you, you can do this. I had to put baby down in order to make the video, but this season can still be sweet. It can still be productive, and it can still be your homeschool and your vibe, something that fits your family. It's just gonna have a rhythm that flexes a little bit and a plan that works with your real life. Welcome back to our New Year Homeschool Reset. This is episode 5. If you've missed any other episodes, you can check out the playlist and you can subscribe to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next videos, because we're journeying in this together so that we can thrive in the new year and we can build fun spaces for our kids to learn, make it feel magical without all that extra work, and we can build that lifelong love of learning while seeing real progress. Hi pal, I'm Jordan Ashley and I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to the most magical homeschool on earth. Make sure you stay to the end, because a little later I'm going to share how we have hard days and good days and our strategies for each, because we all know with any age, especially babies, there are going to be some hard days, and that's okay, and we're going to work through them and we're going to make them the best they can be. A quick reminder that our free Restart workbook is available at our free resource library linked in the description. It will help you make a new plan for your homeschool while not overthinking it. That's what we use, and I hope that it's helpful to you. Step number 1, we're going to build a flexible schedule that fits within the baby's natural windows. So this is not the season for that strict schedule, that color-coded, bar-coded sheet. I would love it to be, but it's not. It's just not. So this is the one that we are going to have blocks of time that we are going to fit into the baby's natural windows. Let me explain. So during baby's happy window, when they're happy, playful, cooing, crawling, laying in bed, whatever their stage is, we are going to do something light but productive. We are going to do something to connect with them and the other kids. We are going to do like a read aloud. We're going to do some like structured play. We are going to play a little board game. We are going to do a quick review. We might do our morning basket, things like that. Some of our lighter subjects, we might focus on those. Okay, nap window. That's when we do our heavy lifting. We are going to focus on our math, our language arts, the harder subjects, the ones that you're really going to have to lean into. That's when you do those things. And our fussy windows, because they're inevitable and that's okay. We will do a lot of independent learning activities, whether they are doing some independent work. You've worked hard to build in that resilience in your kids where they can do some independent work on their own, or they're going to go do one of the other independent activities you set up on your magic station, your go station, your strewing station, whichever verbiage you use. If you want to learn more about that, there's more in previous episodes in this playlist, but that is the key. So you're not necessarily going to structure your days based on the time. You're going to structure your days based on what your baby's doing, and you're going to adapt, and it's going to be great. You got this. Step number 2, we're going to create a safe nearby place for baby during their wake periods, and this is going to look different in each and every stage. So newborn stage, you're going to have a cot, a playpen, a pack in place, something like that. They might have a swing, and that is a place where they can be close. You can see them, they're nearby, they see you, so they're not nervous, and you can monitor them and also be during like your breaks with the others. You can look over and give them the attention that they well deserve and need. And they're in a safe place while you are actively teaching the other kids. That's one strategy. And then once they get a little bit older, let's say they're starting to crawl like mine is. We have a almost toddler now. She's like couch surfing, and that's our third baby, and she's almost 1. And recently we got Something I wish I had for the first two kids as well, and that is our Bluewood playpen. Thanks to Bluewood for sending this to us because it has been an absolute lifesaver. Not only does it help my little one have the space to explore and find creative ways to play, she gets to be close by, she gets to see mom and her sisters doing school in a safe environment, which is so important to me, especially as a mom of older kids who have little things all over the house, Legos galore, you name it. Now that we've reached the crawler and toddler phase, this is an absolute must. I truly don't know how I would homeschool my older kids without this playpen. I do have the one from Bluewood linked down in the description if you want to check it out. Next up is our nap time sprint. Now this is what I mentioned before. During our nap times, we are going to do the heavy lifting. We are going to do a sprint and we are going to dig in deep with our other tasks, our other activities that really need to get done that day. Whether these are the activities that might be harder to stop and go, harder to like get in the flow and then get interrupted like 2 minutes later when baby wants to play or get picked up or needs a diaper change or something like that. So we want to do our heavy lifting during naps. Now we all know that babies' naps are notorious for changing every couple of weeks. Their nap time schedule changes, but it doesn't necessarily rely on the time. It relies on just them napping. Now, we also know as moms of kiddos that they don't always nap. They might have a sleep regression, or they might be a little fussy because they're getting a tooth, or whatever other reason, they don't necessarily nap. And so I understand. We're going to get to that and what happens and what to do during those times in a second. But if they nap and they nap well, we usually focus on math, our language arts, and on a really good day, we'll get it all done in the first nap. And on a reasonable like midday, we'll get half done and then she'll either do it the other bit independently or we will break it up in between the two naps. And my daughter actually really loves this. She's loved it since we've had my youngest because ever since Annie was born, she's gotten to take more breaks in between school. We used to like power through. Now we take lots of breaks and she gets to do those fun unit study type activities in between, which she loves. But truly, those naps will carry your homeschool. Those nap time sprints are where it's at least for our family. Next up, we're teaching independent learning on purpose. This is like make or break. And I think that for the most part, independent learning doesn't just happen. You teach it. And yes, it can happen gradually over time. But if you would like to build a self-motivated and determined kiddo, then I think that you can encourage that and you can train that just like you can help teach anything else. So we hope our kids are going to be self-sufficient and be able to dig down deep into a topic on their own and be self-directed learners when they get older. So why wouldn't I start teaching that now and encouraging that now? Not to say that she does it all on her own at second grade, and nor do I want her to do that. I want to learn alongside her and help teach her. It's really fun for me and I love bonding with her in that way, both of my older kids. But that's one of the reasons why homeschoolers are sought after in some of these like Ivy League universities, because they are self-starters and they can really handle it because they know how to work on their own. So all that to say is you can teach it, and here are some strategies to do that. So the way that I do it, it's super simple, and I start with a very short time. 5 to 10 minutes, or a very short skill if it's more of an activity base, like 1 to 2 activities at a time. I give it a very clear instructions. I give her a very clear task so she knows exactly what to do to finish. And then we always finish with success. So we finish, it's finishable. It's not something that's going to be too tricky, too hard, especially in those first few times that I'm expecting her to do independent work in a certain area or after a certain amount of time. It's always harder to do independent work after a long break or after she's been sick or something like that. But we always encourage slow grow and building that momentum. Another great motivator is that typically, if she's able to do these things on her own, she's able to control when she does them. So she just has to be able to do it and complete it before she can move on to one of the craft projects that she's been like working on, or one of the more independent play activities, her practicing her dance recital, or going outside to build a fort. Whatever the wish list item is, she gets to do that once she's done with her math problems. Quick pro quo. Positive reinforcement, if you will. So that has really worked for us. We also do a lot of independent reading. We do some of our language arts if it is something we've already learned, a concept we've learned, and it's more of a like reiterating those concepts. We do puzzles, we do games, we do a lot of copy work. I'm looking at like a list that I wrote down so I can make sure that I remember like all of the different ones, but we listen to audiobooks. Oh, this one's big. She uses her Yodo. Both my kids use their Yodo all the time, whether they're listening to music, but mostly they're listening to books, audiobooks. She can quote several of her favorites, and I love that. She loves listening to audiobooks, and she's the trivia queen on those now. We do unit studies, and we do a bunch of other like small self-directed craft activities that she can do on her own while I'm hanging out with baby. So we have this section here set up for independent work activities, and they can come grab them anytime they want. They can get a reference book, and they can just look through and see all the different countries in the world, and they can get inspired to learn more about certain ones, or learn about the ones we've been to a little bit more, things like that. There's just so many different reference books that we'll just put out, and they'll get super into. So those are just some ideas that we have used that have worked for us. I would love to know if anything has worked for you so far. Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to learn from each other and kind of get inspired. Next up, let's talk about using learning programs to supplement or even cover certain subjects. And I know several families that have benefited from this. We've utilized a few over the past several months, and I'll share which ones in more details in just a sec. But these are things like your IXL, Time for Learning, Mia Academy. There's different virtual schools out there that will help Night Zookeeper, for example. There's just so many different things you can outsource to OutSchool. So many different resources are available now. Do your due diligence to make sure that they're good ones. I, again, have tried so many. We've tried things like Time for Learning, IXL, Night Zookeeper. I used to teach on OutSchool. I still have some courses on there. Things like that. I really love the flexibility that we have to utilize those in seasons that we need them, which sometimes certain baby seasons we do, and our homeschool will look like that and for a season, and that's good. That's okay. We're helping our kids progress. It might not look the exact way that we envisioned our homeschool looking overall for the long term, but then you might end up loving it and keep a certain curriculum or a certain resource for the future. So each family likes different programs. I have my favorites. If you want more information on the ones that we've tried, let me know which ones you're interested in down below, and I can make a video on them if you would like. I have a few links to the ones that we've used down below if you would like to try them out. Some of them have discounts or free trials on there going on right now, so you can try for your family and see if it's helpful. So here's the mindset shift that has helped me so much in this season, and that is we are not homeschooling the same way in this season that we did in the previous season. And in the next season is probably going to look completely different as well. And that is so beautiful. I love that I get to love my little baby in this sweet little baby season. I love that I get to love my 5-year-old, my 7-year-old, my husband, and we get to dive into this adventure in this season in this way. And we can still move the needle when it comes to learning academically, emotionally, socially, all of the things. The well-rounded learning opportunities that we get to provide to our kids is still there. And it's just going to look different. Whether I'm using the extra resources online, or we are doing virtual schools for certain things, or I'm outsourcing certain subjects like Spanish or things like that this year because I don't have the capacity to say yes to everything. And that's good. That's okay. I'm actually really loving certain aspects of that, which is hard for me as somebody who wants to do it all. But I don't know, is that hard for you? Do you want to do it all? Do you want to feel like you can do everything? I guess this is just a real chat now, but I hope that in this season you can find the resources that will be most helpful to you, whether it is a baby playpen or a nice swing that actually helps your little one get to sleep and stay asleep for one of those power naps where you can do a nap time sprint in your homeschool space. Whatever that looks like, just remember that this is just a season. And in those hard moments, which we're going to get to in just a sec, it's just a season. And it's a sweet, short, beautiful one, but a hard one. And this is why it fits in our reset series, which again, here's our playlist. We've already reset our mindset. We've reset our goals, our priorities, our tiny steps, our spaces, our motivation, our curriculums, etc. Now we're resetting what it looks like to homeschool in this season. And for us, that's with a baby. So if for you, you might be homeschooling in a different season. I'd love to know what that looks like for you. If you're stepping into a new and different type of homeschool season, I'd love to know what it is down in the comments below, so we can encourage each other in that. Now, this next strategy has been a huge win for our homeschool, and I don't know if you will agree if this would work for your family, but for us, we love year-round homeschool, and that's because of two reasons. Well, at least two reasons. Number one, we really love that we are building a culture of learning, and whether you're a kid or a grown-up, learning something we get to do, and it's something that's fun, and it shouldn't be something that we have to grudge through, and that's just what we want our kids to learn. So not having a really long summer break as a reward or something to look forward to is just part of how we do things. But mostly it's because we like having the flexibility of being able to take a little time here and there, because we're going to more than make up for it in the other days throughout the year. So if we have a really hard day, baby's just not napping, baby's sick, second grader sick, I'm sick, whatever the case may be, we can make up for it in any of our other days. We could even double up because we are having a really good day. We will double the amount of stuff that we will do, and we'll get it done in just the same amount of time because we're just powering through, and it works out really well. So that way, if we do have a hard day, we don't have to feel really guilty about missing out on a school day because we have enough time throughout the year to get it all in, and not just get it all in, but we are beyond where is traditionally expected of certain age groups, you know what I mean? Based on the standards, which we do have to take standardized tests in Florida, at least we do. And so we know where they're at on the standards, and I feel good about it. Now, this also works out really well because we travel a lot and we do lots of different types of school days. So we'll do unit study days, field trip days, Disney days, and we will incorporate tons of school in all of those things, but it won't look like our book work. It'll look like a more immersive learning experience, like when we go to Spain and we practice our Spanish and we learn all different types of things while we are adventuring, like history, culture, science, and geography, science. I said science twice. I like science. Anyways, if you want to see more about how we travel the world as a family, you can check more information out on Together We Vacation. That's the channel that shares more about the travel side of our world. And you can also see it on our website at Our Together Family, which encompasses all of it, the homeschool and the travel side. But that's our hard day, good day strategy. We just built in the flexibility into our year-long schedule. So if you're homeschooling with a baby, the goal is not to have a perfect schedule. That's not going to happen whether you have a baby or not. But it is to have a safe setup, to have a nap time plan where you're going to do a nap time sprint and get it done during those sleep times so you can enjoy the rest of your day. You are going to have some independent learning habits that you build with your kids. You are going to be able to be flexible with that plan that you have and maybe built into another day. Maybe if you don't want to school year round, maybe you can learn on the weekends. Like, there are so many other ways to be flexible with our time. At least from my experience, I'm sure each and every family has a different story, and I'd love to hear yours. Now, next episode in our Homeschool Reset Series is going to be how to reinvigorate the magic of learning in our everyday without adding too much extra work and extra stress and overwhelm. So be sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on a video. There are links down in the description box below, and I will see you in our next video.